Okay, guys, let's get started. So we have a for those of you that are repeaters, and there's not many, most of you guys are new, which is great. And I get to walk you through every step is going to be fresh and new for you. For you guys that are repeaters, Steve and I both we want to start off with just having a little heart to heart. But the first thing I want to tell you is we are using a different accountability coaching method than I think most of you that are repeaters have used before. So I just want to make sure that you don't leave thinking, kind of, you've already done this, been there, done this, rocked it, and we'll do it again. I really just want to make sure you don't miss anything that we've changed that I don't even know. I might have taken for granted that we've even changed. The other thing I want to warn you about is we have people that have done the challenge. Maybe they didn't do as great as they wanted to, and they've come back and they've done even better. That happens all the time. However, one of the other things we see are people that rocked the challenge, beat their goals, crushed it. Mary's raising her hand if she might have a question. And then Mary, I don't know if you meant to raise your hand, but you have a hand raised, so you might want to type in the chat if you needed anything. No, there's a little palm there's like an icon emoji on your thing that says you're raising your hand like you need help. So just if you'll chat in the chat thread if you're needing that. So the warning is that people that rocked it, that do it again, oftentimes don't do as well. And it's only because, and we see this with competitors, fitness competitors, the first competition, they're the leanest, they're the best. Part of it's because they're scared to death and they take it so seriously. And then once they've done it before, the next time they kind of slack and they're like, I've got this, I did it, and there's a familiarity to the whole thing where sometimes they don't work as hard and they just think that they're going to repeat it easily. So sometimes, have you ever been as far as an adult goes, where you return to a house or a place that you went to as a kid, and you get in, like I did this once when a family member and I showed up and I was like, wow, I remember this house being so much bigger. A lot of times when we're repeating something, our memory of it is different than what it really was, and sometimes we forget the hard stuff. So anyway, that's just a little thing I want to put out there to make sure you guys that are repeaters take it seriously as you did. If you never knew us and you were scared to death of Steve and, sorry, everybody's scared of you. But that just that newness, there's a level of intensity that's just different with that. So I just want to challenge you. If you're brand new, be ready for the ride, because it's gonna be such a fast 6 weeks. It'll seem like forever the first week, and then you'll blink your eye and you're like, I don't believe it's weigh-in time. You're way out. So with that said, Steve, I'm gonna put Steve on and mute myself. Oh, he just wants to join us. Okay.
The lighting is so much better over here.
There's no lighting, but I got a new camera, so I'm really
just real quick, because this can tend to go long if we're not careful. But I wanted to tell you guys that this investment / opportunity, it's one of those things you're going to look back on eventually and be like, oh my gosh, either I did make the most of it, and like a lot of you guys, and you guys will see these people in class that are doing it again because something connected with them. Whether it was, usually it's a paradigm shift or something just made a lot of sense during that time. But during it's going to be a war, you guys. It's not going to be easy. It's easy to diet for a day, but you're talking about 6 weeks. Things are going to happen. And I've been preaching to my class all week that the good management of bad experience is what leads to great growth. And that's really what we're going to be doing over the next 6 weeks. There's going to be bad experiences. There's going to be little times when you're like, man, I nailed my diet until 7 p.m., 3 days in a row, but don't feel defeated, but let's learn how to manage that. But anyway, I want you to look back on this time, maybe after this is over, and I want you to think about what you absorbed, what you learned, because what we're seeing after doing this for 2 years is people look back at this like, oh my gosh, it was one of the most challenging times that I ever had, but it was also one of the times I grew the most. And that's why we see a lot of not prodigals come back necessarily, but we see a lot of people want to re-engage in this because it works. So please, you guys already invested the money and now you're about to invest the energy. So really commit fully. There's 2 types of pain we're going to experience through this. It's going to be the pain of self-discipline, or it's going to be the pain of regret. And I've already, okay, so I'm 1 week ahead of you guys. I already dieted this whole week, and I've already failed probably 4 out of the 7 days. Not bad. And it's still, my failure was still way better than what it was, but I haven't had that perfect unicorn day yet. And that's what we're shooting for. We're shooting for those unicorn days throughout this thing. So anyway, don't feel defeated. It's going to be a process. Make it such that you really embrace this culture. If you're like me, this techie stuff, all 3 of these apps.
Oh my gosh, if Steve can do
I'm
this,
so
anybody
resistant.
can.
Like, don't make me do the app, and don't make me do this. I just want to lose weight. But we found a way to make it happen. And the first place it starts is with submitting to the idea that maybe this could be what works for you, but it's not going to be unless you work it. Anyway, thank you guys for trusting us over the next 6 weeks. Please make the best of this. We want all you guys to succeed. It's just really good for us, and it's going to be really good for you. But even if we miss the mark, we're still going to be way better off than we were yesterday.
Look at Jennifer and Tina
In the office.
in our office.
I love it. I love
Jim.
Luke too, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Awesome.
Luke's in the house. Okay.
All right, let's get this thing going.
All right, guys, man, I love seeing your faces. Okay, y'all got to smile and wave for me because I got to take a picture of this. Because y'all are just precious. Smile. This is the first day of the rest of your life. Give me a wave. Big wave. There you go. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to screen share. That is why I wanted y'all on a tablet or a computer, because I want to screen share and I want y'all to be able to see that. I see by the many of the landscapes that I see, most of y'all are on a computer. So great. This will be recorded. And by the way, thank you, Sheila, Sheila complimented you. Then is not scared of you anymore. No, she just said you're a great coach. Thank you. We do have, like I said, a few people here that have done the challenge before, and there's a lot of you guys that have done prior boot camps in the past. And this is not a boot camp, but it's structured differently. So this might be all new, like for Jeannie and Kimberly. It's nice to see your beautiful face on here as a repeat, many time repeat challenger, because it holds her accountable and she uses it to reel her in and keep her reeled in. So we've got a lot of success stories that are here that are just still on the journey and making sure they keep that success. So I just want to encourage you that this is not a one and done thing, that a 6 week, I mean, some of you I might never see again, but hopefully I'll make a difference in your life. And this program will really impact you in a really positive way. But at the same time, we really hope that everything you do in the 6 weeks lasts you a lifetime, that it really, this is about what you take home after the 6 weeks. We're going to give you tools that are really practical that you should be able to apply with or without Lyft. We'd love to have you. We hope you fall in love with us and fall in love with this family here. And that we do life together, because life is a lot more fun when we've got each other to support each other and lift each other up, our whole motto at the gym. So let's get rocking. I'm going to screen share and let's see what we got here. Okay, where is my whiteboard? Man, that was anticlimactic. Okay, let's try this again. So there we go. All right. So first of all, am I muted for, why is it saying unmute me? Oh, well, are you seeing that little mute box? Wait, shake your head if you're seeing a little mute box. No, I think that's only me seeing it. Okay. Oh, it will not let me, if you see somebody that's emit, perfect. Okay, great. All right, here we go. So this is what you need. Please attend with a tablet or computer. Just want to make sure to get us out of the way. Have your phone. It won't let me annotate. Hold on a second. There we go. It does. Okay. Have your phone ready for use. Have a meal plan ready and turn on your video, which you've already done. Use the chat for questions. Okay. So getting into the embody, I'm going to fly through some of this. Because this is something that you need to study, but I just want to give you some of the major important things. With the embody, you should have gotten a text. You have to download that on your phone so that you can access that information. It is super important. And it's super important because we need you to set up your embody, set up your name and your date of birth. If you don't, when we are trying to pull reports, I have to pull a report based on your phone number. And I don't know your phone number, but I know your name. So it makes it hard for the trainers to stalk you, which is what you signed up for. We are stalking you. So Jennifer's laughing. Okay, so make sure that you set up your InBody. Now on the InBody, oh, I have that little fancy warning sign. On the InBody, just a recap of what Luke and some of our staff have gone over with you. This is where your weight is. This is the main area that we're looking at: weight, skeletal muscle mass, and body fat mass. That's the main thing that we're going to be watching from every week to week. When you get an InBody, the first one we keep, because we're setting your goals, which we'll email you your exact goal, percent or pound, and exactly the amount. We've been working on that all night last night. So this is the graph of where you're headed, and we can watch at a glance how you're doing. This is your body fat percentage. And those really are the three spaces that we're looking at the most. This is overall goal. So if let's say somebody has to lose 100 pounds, obviously we're not going to lose that in 6 weeks, but it'll tell you your main goal. All right, I'm not going to camp out on that because there's a great video in the Nuvita app that covers that in depth, and I really encourage you to watch that. Such great, valuable information.
When we show them how to get to it.
Sure.
When we get there.
Okay, so this is just a little visual. I don't see on the. Let's see here. I'm going to move my thing around. Here we go. Do you see this section here where it says visceral fat? I just wanted to give you a visual of what visceral fat is. See all this fat around your organs? That's visceral fat. That's the dangerous fat. So you're going to want to watch that level come down. I just wanted to kind of give you the 411 on that. Weigh-in guidelines. Now these are important. The first, we gave you an advantage. We let you weigh in however you want. So if you eat breakfast and you weighed in, you might weigh another pound or so, who knows? But we didn't give you any strict details on how to weigh in. After this, it's important you stick to your weigh-in routine, which is schedule on a day and try to stick as closely to that as possible. I prefer for people to spread out, not everybody to come on a Saturday, or it kind of gets crazy. So if you want to make Mondays your weigh-in day, or Tuesdays or Fridays, that's fine. Just try to stick to that schedule. No food or drink before weigh-in, and no workouts before weigh-in. This is crucial.
Also, you guys, some of you guys that want to do the 5 a.m. class, we start right at 5 a.m. We open the gym at 4:50. We can't do weigh-ins usually. At least don't expect it. If it's an emergency, if you guys can text me the night before, I can be ready for you. Otherwise, we weigh in 30 minutes after the gym opens, and I wouldn't do it right before class, just in case something happens, like we're out of printer paper or something weird, okay? So try not to do it right when we first open, because inevitably something's gonna be crazy.
Ideally, the best time to weigh in is the first thing in the morning, but it's not the only time to weigh in. Some people weigh in after work, just long as it's 3 hours after food or drink. So if you do it every day at 5:30 at night, or something like, not every day, every week at the nighttime, just stick with that nighttime weigh-in. So no workouts before weigh-in. I mentioned that before, but this is super important, especially if you're a percenter. It can really throw off your weigh-ins, so we don't want that. Understanding your weight fluctuations. Can you admit that, next person?
Sure.
Understanding your weight fluctuations. This is crucial. Okay, so when you first start working out, I want you to know that when you gain muscle weight or gain, it's normally just gaining water and glycogen in the muscle. So it's not like you're actually gaining 2 pounds of new muscle fiber. Most likely you're just holding more water and glycogen in the muscle cell. And if you were to, and it's also something you're not going to gain and gain and gain and gain and continue gaining. It's initial weight gain. It's a good weight gain. It's the kind of gain that makes your muscles firm and hard, which we want, instead of the soft, flabby muscles. But if that was going to continue, Steve would be like 600 pounds of muscle by now, because he's been working out all his life. So just know that it's not something that when you have that initial weight gain, a lot of y'all might want that, of course.
Well, let's talk about
But women oftentimes get scared of being too bulky.
And some of you guys that are percenters, remember the percenter has nothing to do with weight. It's just your percentage of fat to muscle. So you guys might, after a week of being careful of your carbohydrates, glycogen, if your body is not storing glycogen, you're using it in class, but you're not replacing it, the first week you might come in flat. which means it looks like you lost 3 pounds of muscle, which is usually what we see the first week. Most of the time, for you guys that are eating properly, you may come in flat. Don't sweat it. You didn't truly lose 3 pounds of muscle. What you lost was 3 pounds of water in the muscle. So you weren't storing glycogen as readily. That will happen, but that process takes a little while, and that's why we're all here. So whether you gain some muscle weight, be careful that your carbs aren't being, be careful of your carbohydrates. And if you're losing muscle weight that first week, don't get on to Luke. You know, he's reading it properly. We're going to give that time to readjust. But that's why we always use the InBody for weigh-ins, because we need to chart where that's going. If the trend is one way or another, we know how to correct it.
Awesome. All right. So then we've also got water weight. So this first week, I will say, I'm trying to think of I think the most we've seen in 1 week is like 9 or 10 pounds. Very odd, very rare, but it has been done. There is this first week, you should have a big weight loss. We expect it. It could be anywhere from 4 to 6 pounds, kind of as the average for the first week. It's not going to be all fat. It will be, okay, I'm going to be real with you. It will probably be poop, water. I mean,
bowels.
Okay, bowels, but poop is like more kid-like and fun and playful. Bowels is like too clinical.
Poop.
So, but you know, when you eat more, I'll never forget, there was one of the contestants on the show that Steve did for ABC. She came to our house and stayed with us and visited. And she was talking about how much she went to the bathroom. And I was like, I said, that's a reflection of how much we eat. You know, we go more when we eat more. It makes sense, right? So anyway, it's going to take about 72 hours for you to get out what you've been eating. So just know, it feels great though, because you're still getting lighter and thinner. Your stomach's going to get flatter. And that's another component of feeling great this week. And the cool thing is we all like that big kickstart. Just know that it might be a big one this week, and next week it might not be quite as big. And no, not the poo, but the weight loss. And then at the very end, we normally have a really good weight loss at the end, because people are really driving towards that goal. So that's just a real quick 411 on that. The second thing is I want to show you what 10 pounds looks like. So she lost 10 pounds, and this is 5 pounds of fat. So she lost 2 of those. That's why she's holding up her 2 fingers. I wanted to show you this simply because, and she actually continued losing weight and changed her life and just really made some big life changes. But I want to encourage you just how much even 10 pounds is. I mean, obviously we want you to do really good and get great results, but the reality is it's a lot of bulk. So let's dive into the Zen Planner. This is going to be also quick, because I know most of y'all are scheduled. We'll save questions to the end. So for any of you that have questions about it, we'll add that to the end and just fly through this as if you've already gotten in your Zen Planner app and you've already scheduled. So this is just the quickie. This is our website. If you go to liftvero.com, you'll actually see the whole schedule mapped out, which sometimes is easier just to visualize. At 5:30 here, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's a freebie class that does not count to your 3. So if you want to throw that in there, you're absolutely free to do that. We have not changed the name of this, but this coming up is going to be Crank. It's a boxing kind of
Thursday, 5:30, unless you're not following that red.
Yeah, if you do, I hope you see my little red little pointer here. It's 5:30 p.m. on Thursdays are going to be Crank, and that's a kickboxing class. We have some gloves you can borrow it if you want to test it out and try it. But those are free. Those are just extras you can add on top of your thing. Just know these are the 3 columns we want you to shoot for. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are the 3 classes. As we continue growing from COVID, we will likely continue adding classes and getting back to our fuller schedule. If you miss a class in the Nuvita app, you can go to the new resources. I downloaded it last night, and you can go to you can go to week 1 tools, and you will see several workouts to choose from. There's a kickboxing workout, a lower body workout, an upper body workout, a full body workout. They're all designed to do at home, or on the go. So those are some things you can use in conjunction with this or in place of it if you miss a workout. So just know that those are there for you. All right, 3 classes a week. If you can't book a class later in this challenge, it's because you've already exceeded your 3 classes a week. So just be sure when you're looking at your reservations in your app that you're not exceeding. I think it's 18 is what you've got. If you have 18, you're not going to be able to book anything else. You can book the free classes. They don't count till you're 18, but I just want you to know that's where that lives.
If that does happen, reach out to Luke or to one of us.
Yeah, if you get stuck and you feel like it's wrong, or if you need some help, we can work with you for sure. I just want to kind of give you the layout of the land for the app. It's easy to reserve, cancel your reservations, and this is all as a Zen planner. Yep, we're back to the app. It's a $5 late fee or no show fee. So avoid that. You've got 8 hours before a class to show up. And we just had that. I mean, the $5 is not about us making money off of you no showing. It's about just you being respectful to the other people and not blowing off a class because and letting other people in. We're smaller classes than we normally do. So we want to make sure that we can get people in that we need to get in. If you want to add it to your calendar and actually put it on your calendar, you click on that button and it'll actually add it to your Google or iPhone calendar or whatever.
Don't forget a text or email letting them know they have a class coming up.
To be honest with you, I can't remember if I have that. I can't remember if you guys are getting texts or not. Sometimes I've turned that off before. I can't remember. If you go into your profile, if you click on your profile picture at the top of your screen, it'll open this section up, and that's the calendar, other options, purchases, and stuff like that. If you click view profile, just wanted you to know where your payment information is. That's where your bills are, payment methods, if you want to add anything, and that's the type of membership you have in case somebody asks you what membership you have. Now we're into check-in. Checking in, we installed the key fob system and the keypad system. This is brand new to us. So for you guys that are new, actually even everybody, because it was new to us, I haven't even used it yet. Please extend us extra grace during this transition in order for us after COVID to stay open, to keep the services and pour all of our funds into training and things that really matter most. And not just having a body there when there's only one person walking in the door or whatever. We wanted to make sure that we're using our resources wisely. So we're using the key fob option to get access to the gym and get in and out to help reduce payroll on regular stuff so that we can keep the payroll on the stuff that matters the most, which is our training and stuff. So this is a new system for us. You guys will have for those of you that are in the challenge, you actually have a code to get in that checks you into the gym. And then, so this is the keypad. You can buy a key fob if you're like, I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to be joining this gym afterwards. You totally can get a key fob. For those of your members, you can get a key fob. Our VIP memberships have all access to all classes, and the key fob will get them into the door with VIP access, which they actually have extended hours. They get in earlier, they can stay later, and they can work through the weekends. The checking in the iPad. So when you get in the door, what is this first day going to look like? So for those who are new, you're like, oh gosh, this is going to be nerve wracking. So I'm going to walk in the door, I'm going to use my keypad, get in the door unless our door is open. And you're going to go up and there's a keypad, an iPad at the front desk. You're just going to look for your name. It'll already probably be at the, on the class that's up, and you'll just click on your name. It'll check you in just like this is. If you see a red notification, that means there's something wrong with your account, or you just have a waiver you need to sign. Make sure you take care of that so the red notice goes away. That's it with that screen. So now prepare for class. This is super important. And can I just be really honest with you? I am like the worst offender. So feel free, feel free to scold me if I'm the one that's late, because I'm horrible. And it is something I need to work on, and I will work on it for the rest of my life, I'm sure. Check in, arrive early. Check my zone, make sure it's on, because the worst thing, and all of you guys, Tina and Jennifer and Sheila and a lot of you guys, Harmony, that done this before, you cannot function. It's like you cannot sweat a drop without that MyZone thing working, because you want credit for it. So make sure it's working. You see your name on the board and the big screen, and you're ready to rock so that you can concentrate on the workout and listen to directions. Because when it doesn't work, Steve wants to chime in here.
No, if it doesn't work.
Oh, if it doesn't work,
you're going
to be so distracted, you can't function.
With the new key fob system, usually if you come in late right now, the front desk will walk you in. They catch eyes with me, Paula, or Shannon, one of the coaches, and then we bring you safely into class. Guys, please, if you come in on your own because you're late, come on in. If you're more than 10 minutes late, you really need to bail. and probably you probably missed, because you've already missed, you only have 30 minutes left of class. But anyway, if you come in, wait on the perimeter of the class. Just don't walk in trying to find a place, because if we're doing jumping jacks or lateral raises, you're
Yeah,
gonna
we don't
get
want
clobbered.
we don't want you to get knocked out.
So, and if we don't see you, just say, hey, coach, and we'll catch eyes with you. We'll probably tell you to hold on for a second, and then we'll get you a place right away.
So here's the thing I want to really focus on with this one point. This is less about rules. I mean, we have to have rules in place, but it's because we want the best for you. We want the best experience for you. And there's nothing more uncomfortable than walking into a class late and not knowing what y'all are doing, what everybody's doing, and where to be and what to do. So if you can wait for our staff to wait for a break and put you into the class so you can hear the directions on the next segment, it's so much more of a comfortable situation for you. So it's not about making you wait to be mean or sit you in a corner. It's really, we just want you to have a really good experience and not feel uncomfortable. Find your station. So there's stations. You can see a little example here. This is actually a sweat day. Sweat days are not set up typically a lot like the other days, but we've got ski ergs and we've got rowers and all kinds of stuff.
She's pointing to the picture off to the side.
I don't know if you can see my hand over here, but the picture on the side there is just showing that there's stations. You know, choose your station, look at the weights. Are you at a station that has huge weights or little weights? And just, you know, it kind of get comfortable. So we have a motto at the gym: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I can't tell you how much this means to me and to others. And for those of you guys that are members at Lyft, you know that a lot of times the people that you're in the class with is why you're here, and it keeps you coming back for more. And our whole Lyft, the Lyft name was named after this verse: "You're better than one. If one falls, his companion can lift him up." And we just encourage you, even though that you're on a journey to improve yourself. So this is going to be a 6 weeks you focused life. I mean, your routine is going to be demanding. You've got to do a lot of meal prep and stuff like that. It's going to be maybe in a way you might feel even selfish. And some of you actually might be like, I deserve this time. I need this time. I need to make time for me. I just want to encourage you to look around the room, because others may need you too, and not to be so focused on your goals that you might miss an opportunity to encourage somebody next to you that's struggling, because someday you're going to be the struggling one and you're going to need the lifting up. All right. Okay. So that, on to MyZone moves. MyZone is our app for the heart rate monitor. You can see a little screenshot of kind of on the right, the photo, I'm sorry, that we have on the right here that shows what it looks like on the board. A lot of these people, oh, look at there, there's Jennifer Long right there. She's on the call and she's at 91% here in the red. This is important, okay? So I want you to make sure you know, put your name in your MyZone, write your nickname. This is huge. Please don't write some crazy random nickname that doesn't make sense to me. And if I don't know your dog's name and that's what your nickname is, it's going to be really hard for us to learn your name. We really like all these names you see here. You see Jean and Jen Long. That's Nikki Mazum, April. We know all these people. These are that makes it so much easier to put names with faces. If I recognize all those people and I have one new person in class, guess what? The person I don't recognize on the screen, I know matches that new face. So it makes it super easy for not only me to get to put names with faces, but the class, because those are going to be your new friends. Steve's sitting next to me. If you can see his little icon.
That means I always want to interrupt.
Yeah.
So at first glance, we brought the MyZone on, and a lot of people thought, and honestly, even me as a coach, I'm like, now I can drive these guys.
Get them in the red. Get them in the red.
But what we've learned after a few years of having this is, me as a coach, I'm almost always trying to bring you back down before we start again. So don't think that the heart rate monitor is for us to push you to the edge of death. It's actually to make sure that you've recovered before we start another bout or another round of exercise. So don't sweat it, guys. You know, the heart rate monitor is there mostly for us coaches to make sure that everybody's safe and that it's giving us good data on output.
So just also to reiterate with a heart rate thing too, is there's a reason in certain workouts, he'll actually tell you, I want you in the yellow now, or I want you in the green. Let's see if we can hit that red. He'll want that at times, but also he may need you to get down to green because he knows the next segment, he wants you to go all out and he wants you to recover so you can. If you're constantly in the red and yellow all the time and you never get to recover, then you're not going to be able to put in. So just know every day, maybe a different day. Don't feel like if only the yellow and red days are were the good days and the rest was a waste. Not that at all. and we'll go into exactly what those things mean.
Is Lyft US 001 the code for Navita?
So,
What's the code for
so
MyZone?
the facility code for MyZone is Lyft US 001. It'll ask that. So some of you have not gotten your MyZone yet because you haven't done your weigh-in yet. You're doing it later. You'll get your MyZone when you weigh in, and you'll and they will actually give you a piece of paper that says a facility code. But and this is also in your app. But you want to make sure you put in your name, your nickname, your age, your belt number, which is on the back of that round black disc, that device, which is a serial number, and then your phone number, email, date of birth, gender, and your facility code, and it'll ask you for all that.
Does Nuvita have a facility code like?
Yeah, facility code for Nuvita.
You
You can go ahead and type it in. Just to,
Okay.
it's Lyft Fit. So the link I sent out from
Capitals or does it?
all lowercase. If and it might not matter. If you use the link to get Nuvita, it should be embedded in that link, so you don't need it. But sometimes people did something where it got them back to square one, and then they needed it. So Lyft Fit is the code. So really quickly, if you've got your phones, open up your MyZone app if you already have your MyZone app. Otherwise, just take a look at here. If you click, let's see here. If you open up your phone, it's going to look like this. Okay. So if you click on body metrics, you'll go to this screen on the left. So these are 3 different screens that can kind of get confusing. So you see the metrics, but you're like, how do I input my body metrics? See this little tab here, that little first little thing. If you slide that out to the left, and this is the middle screen, is it half slidden, and the last screen is it all the way slid out. You can see the body metrics area, and that's where you can click the little icon, edit icon or whatever, and put in your body fat, your weight, and all that kind of stuff. So that's how you get to that screen. That's a little tricky. It's kind of like a little hidden access. So wanted to make sure y'all knew how to do that. Diving into the app, we have some fun stuff that every once in a while we'll do a challenge. We're about to do a member challenge coming up. The body metrics is what I just showed you. Connections, that's all the connections that you could make for like other members. So you can friend request people, follow their workouts. If you want to test it, if you're getting your MyZone and you have not tested it yet, or if you're wanting to use it, you click workout. When you click workout, it'll bring you to this middle screen where you'll see something spinning, and it's like looking for you. You have to have your belt on, or it won't show you. It has to have your heart rate. As soon as your heart rate's up, it'll display this tab. And this tab, this tile is what you'll go by on how your workout's going. And so just to give you an idea of how all that looks, let's see here. And just really quickly, do you see this little setting window? That's how you access some of your, so you see the top hand, left hand corner. Can you see it? I'm trying to wiggle.
On the first picture.
Yeah, first picture, top left hand gear. That's your settings. That's how you log out. That's how you make any adjustments to your profile and stuff like that. But moving on to the tile, this is how you read your tile.
The tile is what's going to be on the TV screen in the gym or on your phone.
Yeah, this tile is in your app. You can download this app on your iPad, your phone. You can also see it on our computer screen at the gym, several screens. So to go over this, and for you guys that are repeaters, thank you for hanging in there and going through this with me. Hopefully, maybe I'll teach you something new today. You'll have your nickname or name here. These are how many calories you burn in the top right corner. This is your effort, and we're going to go over that in just a second. This is the percentage of your maximum heart rate. This is your effort. This is the zone you're in, the training zone. This is your workout summary. Do you see this bar? It's all blue. They were in the blue, and then they were in the green for a little bit, and then they went back to the blue. So that will be kind of your summary of your whole workout. This is your actual heart rate on the bottom left-hand corner. And then this is your MEPs and ranking. This is how many MEP points, and we're going to go into that next. And your ranking. So that person's a gold rank. So what does all this mean? 50 to 59%, if you're in the gray zone. Now, this is one thing I love about MyZone. Okay, MyZone is the most accurate way of tracking calories, hands down, than anything else we've ever seen. Most people, if you wear a heart rate monitor or you do your Apple Watch or whatever, it's tracking how many calories that you're burning, period. All the calories you're burning. Okay, I'm burning calories right now, but I'm not exercising. So that's not really the kind of calories I want to track. MyZone only tracks calories burned over 50% of your maximum heart rate. So in other words, only when I'm exercising. So it's not going to burn your sitting around time. If you put your MyZone on right now, you're not getting any points. It's not going to, it's not going to track anything we're doing. So there's no like putting it on and getting a golf cart and going golfing and thinking you're going to rack up some calories just because you get to wear it for 4 hours. This is for exercise. You put it on exercise, you take it off. So if you, and you don't, and one of the things they do is they award you with points to kind of motivate you, hold you accountable, and all that kind of stuff. So if you're in the gray zone, you get 1 MEP, which is my effort points. The whole MyZone system is tracking you and ranking you by your effort. This means your effort's going to be different than somebody else's effort, and it's only you against you. So don't care about what everybody else has on the screen. You're just looking at yourself. But you get 1 point if you're in the gray zone. You get 0 points if you're under that dark gray zone, and you get into the light gray zone. At that point, your number, this number here will be red, not white, and it'll show you're just not even tracking points because you're not really exercising yet. If you get into the blue zone, that's 60 to 69% of your maximum heart rate. That's 2 MEPs. 70 to 79 is green. This is really where we want you to be a lot of the time. That's 3 MEPs. 80 to 90, 89% is 4 MEPs. And then 90 to 100 is still 4 MEPs, which I also love because it doesn't, if it had given you more points, you might be more pushed and feel like you need to get in the red just to earn and crank up more points. I know this sounds silly, but believe it or not, y'all will be looking at your points and you'll be looking at your medals and all that kind of stuff because they're just little pats on the shoulder. Yes, Steve.
So there's a couple ways you can change your tile. Let's try to all set them so that the big number in the middle is percent of your maximum heart rate. But you could put calories, any of those things in the corner, you could put to the middle. But it's easier for us coaches and for you to just learn the way we do it here. Now, I just wanted to interject real quick because this happens to me.
Okay.
I might be rowing or skiing or doing battle row. Some activities make me feel like I just can't catch my breath and my effort is like 110 and my heart rate's blue. And I'm like, what is up with that? Some activities are just harder for us. And some days our ventilation is going to exceed our heart rate. It's just that perceived effort. And there's going to be other times you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in the red. And I don't even feel like I should be in the red. Maybe you're holding plank and you're in the red.
Maybe you drink too much coffee and you're in the red.
Yeah. So usually that's not a dangerous thing. However, it can be a frustrating thing to feel like you should be in the red and you're just not. We have to wait for your skeletal muscle mass and your smooth muscle, your heart and lungs, to kind of catch up with each other. So don't be alarmed if you're completely out of breath, but your heart rate is blue. Don't be alarmed if you're in the red, but you seem to be fine. Okay. We'll work through that. I would definitely call the attention to one of us coaches to let us see that, but it's just something we're going to look at.
One of the things also I want to address is the fact that we are not just looking at where you are when you're exercising, but we're looking at how fast you recover. How fast you recover is a huge indication that you're getting fit. So if you're in a room, and I challenge you to do it, look around the room and see how quick people come down from red to yellow to green, and they're all of a sudden like gray. And maybe you're coming down a little slower. It's just because you still are getting fit. But when you get fit, people bounce down faster, which is a great sign of really strong heart and lungs. So that's what we're shooting for. It's not just how intense you can work out, but how quick you can recover. So the MyZone doesn't measure speed, cadence, or weight lifting, or the weight lifted. It measures effort put in. That's why they call them my effort points. And it is 99.4% accurate. So if you want to argue, not that you want to argue, but like I have this other one, I thought it was great. Well, maybe it's not as great as
Victoria Lynn just asked, where do you wear the actual monitor? So the strap has electrodes on it. The electrodes need to be almost center and off to the left. So that would put your sensor that set the black sensor that says MyZone is going to be pretty much right under the left areola. Nipple.
Steven.
I like saying nipple.
Okay.
Underneath there.
Tracy's dying.
But anyway, we're going to put it.
Look at Jennifer. Okay.
So, there you go. Tina's got hers.
So you cannot.
So see, it's in the middle. Don't move it in the middle. Move it underneath the left. There you go. About right there. So it's almost, I don't know if you guys can see Tina.
I'm going to see if I can pin her. All right.
Keep holding that, Tina.
Can you see that? Can you see that, guys?
Right there. So it's almost underneath the left. So it's off center to the left. And then also we want to dampen it. I like to say moisten.
Tina, you're such a team player. Thank you for showing your tummy and being so bold. This girl,
Hey.
this girl is a trooper, man. She's got 2 new knees. She just
And
completely,
one nephew.
no, not in one nephew. So not only has she turned things around and come back so strong, I think like 30 pounds down and 2 new with 2 knees. So bad knees, huge scars, bless her heart, completely rocking it out. So huge shout out to her. So I'm gonna go back to screen
And God
sharing.
bless Mitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so I'm going back to where we were. Thank you so much, Tina. This is just at a glance what each zone is. 100% you're pushing yourself to the limit. 89 to that 80 to 89%, you're totally breathless and you'd have difficulty saying more than 2 to 4 words in a row. That's typical. This is not normal. I mean, that's not like, I mean, not normal. It is typical. It's not always consistent with everybody. It's just kind of the idea. 70 to 79%, you're breathless, but able to speak in a sentence more than 4 words. Muscles may be burning. 69%, you're starting to feel winded. That's really kind of when you start going, oh, I'm starting to feel winded, but eventually you'll be living beyond this, the blue, and you won't even realize you're still winded. So that's just kind of a little quick breakdown of the different zones. And then this is the breakdown of the MEPS. I mean, the rankings, I'm sorry. So at first you don't have a ranking. I've got to find my annotation again. Hold on just a second. So don't know why my cursor doesn't work when I'm doing this. Sorry. I have a miss.
Did you unpin Tina?
Oh gosh, did I? And is Tina still pinned? Shake your head if she's still pinned. No. Okay. I think I'm just. Oh, I do still have you pinned, but it just won't. Steve, can you hit? Oh no, I got it. Okay. Sorry, for some reason when I'm screen sharing, my whole cursor disappears and it's a mystery blank cursor. I just have to find. So these are the ranks. You start off with nothing. Sorry guys. And then after a month of being at it, before this challenge is over, you'll get to iron status. So 1 month you'll get a new medal and that will be an icon on your thing. It's just an achievement for them to acknowledge your consistency. And that, yeah, and the goal is so realistic. It's 1,300 MEPs a week, which is about 150 minutes of exercise a week. That's totally maintainable. 3 good workouts a week and you can maintain your status. The one thing I love about my zone is it focuses on consistency more than intensity. It rewards you for consistency. 3 months of staying consistent for 1,300 MEPs a month, it reaches bronze. Then 6 months is silver, 12 months is gold, 24 months is platinum. And then, and we haven't had it. I think we've only had the system barely 2 years. So there's probably not anybody at platinum quite yet. But I will say that it really holds you accountable. And I find at the very end of the month, I'm trying to squeeze a run in, or I'm trying to do something to make sure I don't miss my thing, my MEPs. So it is kind of a neat little motivational tool. If you miss a month, it doesn't take you back to square one, but you have to start over at that rank. So that's just a little bit of 411 on that. Oh, sorry. So let's go into the new Vegeta app. Well, now we're getting into the goodies. So we got through all the kind of techie stuff that's just more of stuff we have to do just to be organized. Now this is all the accountability stuff and the meal plan. That's what we're going to go into now. So this is a little screenshot. If you have not gone into your new Vegeta app, most of you have. Your 6-week challenge is in a tile here. And I want to just encourage you that this is what you signed up for. So we are going to expect you to reply to us. Do not ghost us, okay? We want to make sure we're staying on top of things. This little thing is super important. See where it says nutrition? It says today 1, week 10. A lot of people get confused and go, I'm week 10, I just started. No, that's how many meals you have logged for the week. So that will live here. So at a glance, you can see. So if you have 3 meals a day for 7 days, your goal is going to be 21 meals, so that you can make sure you're on target for that. So this is also what your percentages are, your 90% or whatever this is, green thumbs up. You've got 10% or whatever. I can't see as I put the thing through it. That 10% gray thumbs sideways, and down, red thumbs down. So this is kind of just your dashboard. This is where everything will live. And when you go into to post your picture, you click on nutrition. So a couple of you guys emailed me or messaged me your picture. It's actually much easier than that. You click on the nutrition, and then you'll get to this tab and you'll see it's actually down here, but you'll see a camera roll or a camera or a film roll. If you click on the film roll, you can take a picture you've already saved that morning or that day and upload it. If you upload yesterday's picture in today, it goes into yesterday. It's time stamped and sensitive, so no cheating, no cheaters, okay? All right, I see smiles. That means y'all got it. No cheating.
Okay, 2 questions. Will the nutrition area reset soon? I don't even know what that means.
Will the nutrition area reset soon? I don't know. Can you explain that further
Maybe
for
they've
me?
been tracking food. This is
so
from Terry.
okay, so Monday is the first official day of the challenge. So every week, that's another thing I love about this accountability coaching app, is every week your goals reset for the week. Your goals for the week are 3 meals a day for all 7 days, 90% green thumbs up, and to get 150 minutes of exercise a week. So if you fail 1 week, you missed your mark and you could have done better, you can restart the next Monday, and you'll start over with your percentage. Does that make sense? I want to also show you what I see. So this is my end. I can see that this person had a little bit of red. I know I need to check on her. What was her red? Why did she eat something that wasn't on the plan? Does she have a little explanation or something that she needs help with? So I can track people by a percentage of thumbs up. I also can track people by their meals. Now, this is actually a real live screenshot of a private group, a small group I've been monitoring. And I looked at this yesterday. And so this person was already at 21 meals, and it's not even the end of the week. This means she's taking pictures of her snacks, and she's really wanting to be held accountable. So even though the 3 meals a day is your goal, the more data you give us, the better we can coach you. The more better we can coach you. So I encourage you, use it. Be super honest, super honest. The more honest you are and the more data you give us, the better service you can get from us. Same thing goes with workouts. When you work out, I can pull reports. I can see how many calories they burned that week, how much high intensity versus lower intensity workouts at a glance. That's kind of nice. Okay, so this is whoopsie. This is important. Attention. Android versus iPhone. Y'all are in a battle for the activity tracker. Okay, so if you are an iPhone user, you'll set up your MyZone, you'll sync to your MyZone, and you'll stay synced to your MyZone, and you'll never sync your workouts manually or with your belt, Bluetooth to your Nuvita app. You'll just need to turn on your health app integrations, which is what this looks like. This is down, you click the 3 dots. If you're in your Nuvita app right now, it defaults to your dashboard. You'll just click these 3 dots and you'll scroll all the way down and you'll see Health Kit integration. You click that and you're going to share your MyZone information, long as it's also connected to your health app, which mine already was automatically. I don't know if that's an automatic thing or if I did it, but this is just a screenshot of what that looks like under settings under your phone. If you go to your iPhone settings, scroll down to health, click data and access and devices, and then turn on all categories. You're gonna have all this information into your app, and I actually will make this, this video is gonna be recorded so you can come back if you wanna open up your app or your, if I'm going too fast for you, so you can go through this. Back to the Android. So if you're an Android user, I am so sorry. No, I'm just teasing. You have one step. So here's the deal. When you walk into the gym, you're gonna have to open up your phone, and you're going to have to click connect, and you're going to have to sync with your Nuvita app. This is important. Another important moment. Attention. If you have an Android, you have to disconnect your Bluetooth belt from MyZone before you can connect it to any other device, much less your Nuvita app.
How do they do that?
So I'm trying to think of you have to log out. Just log out of MyZone. If MyZone is not living in the background, you're good.
You hit the gear,
Yeah.
you go to sign out.
Yeah, or you can actually log out of the app completely. Just as
Okay.
long as the app's not living in the
Okay, so
background,
you
I
don't
think
have to sign out. You
yeah.
just have to swipe it
Yeah.
out.
Worst case scenario, if you can't get it to work, definitely sign out. But I think just with logging out so it's not in the background running, you should be
Right.
fine.
I think so.
If you are a techie person like us, and we have a lot of times we'll be using an iPad to monitor our heart rate if we're when we do our shows down south. I can't sync it to my iPad if my phone's open because it's trying to still sync to my phone. So even if you're using multiple devices, you're going to always have to log out of any of your other devices to log into the device you're using. So you'll connect Android users, you'll log out of MyZone, you'll connect here, and you'll and it will you'll see the tile and you'll have to start the workout, which looks like this. It'll have a button here, and you'll at the end of the workout you'll have to stop and then save. Don't forget to save. Now here's the thing: if you walk into the gym, our MyZone console is going to record everything. So just because you record it in the Nuvita app, it will also update it in your MyZone app because our MyZone console does that. For you guys that are MyZone, I mean, Apple users, and I know this is so much data. I'm so sorry. I wish I could go slower with this, but for Apple users, you don't even, well, actually, yeah, Apple users, you can just walk in the gym and do your workout. You don't need to have your phone open. Matter of fact, I think it's best not to, because you're going to automatically be picked up by our console. It downloads it to the cloud. It'll update your phone. You guys only would need to use your apps and your phone if you're doing the workout outside of the club. So anytime you're doing the workout outside the club, you're running or whatever, make sure you use your either Nuvita app if you're an Android user, or you use your MyZone. So the next question is, and that's that actually what this whole screen is about. Is for the people that go, crap, I forgot to record my workout. I don't get points, and Bonnie's going to get on to me, or Luke's going to fuss at me that I didn't get my 150 minutes in a workout. Don't have any fear. We got you covered. Just click instead of the connect button. You go up to this top right hand corner, and I might have a thing that's actually hiding it, so I can't see what that even says. Can you see what that says, Steve? What does it say?
What's that?
Whatever this button is. What?
Dot, dot, dot.
Dot, dot, dot. Okay, hit the dot, dot, dot. It'll bring up this middle tile here, manual activity tracker. You can actually choose what activity you're doing. If you're doing lift, I would choose HIIT. If you're just working out on weights, you choose your weight intensity, the workout intensity. You can do running, you can do walking. It'll tell you like how many miles per hour and all that kind of stuff. So you can choose the best fit. If you're doing yoga, you can put yoga in there. Whatever the exercise is, choose it. You can start manually recording, or you can do the exact same thing. And instead of choosing the manual exercise or whatever, you can hit this log a past workout, and you can put all the information, how many minutes you worked out, the time, the date, and everything. It'll automatically put the calories in for you and just save. So that's how you do manual heart rate tracking and exercise tracking, whether you do it live in live time, which is would be hitting the start button, or you log a past workout.
Who needs to have their phone in the club? Not iPhone.
Nope. So only the Androids would actually need to be using your phone, and you just want to make sure that the phone's close enough to you to be picked up. Be sure there's actually a little silver rack that you can put your phone in so nobody steps on it. I will say we have had some crushed phones before because the black screens get hidden on the black floor. So be careful not to set your phone somewhere where it could be crushed. It just needs to be close enough to pick up.
Complete aside, Steve Tillman wants to know if you're going to put up some of these PowerPoints so that they can see them later.
Yeah, I can do that. Well, it's all going to be in the video, but I can do that too.
Okay, say that again.
So this whole video is going to be recorded and uploaded.
Well, he doesn't want to watch the video.
But yes, I can absolutely share the PowerPoint. I can do that. Gosh, y'all making me work even harder. All right, I still love you. Okay, so let's go on to meal plan. This is what everybody really is like, Bonnie, hurry so we can get to the good stuff. So the meal plan, this is the crux of it all. So this is real pictures of real challengers food pics, and I encourage you, post your groceries on your counter in the Facebook support group. It's helpful because sometimes we actually go, wait a minute, that's not on the meal plan. And I'll actually give you some examples of that. So this is just some ideas of what people have done, different products and stuff like that. but this is the meal plan. So this particular meal plan is the 1.75. So this meal plan is for the 150 to 200 pound group. Everybody has the same looking meal plan, and the differences are very minor. So be careful to make sure you're using your right meal plan, because sometimes you might not see the differences in the portions, because that's the main difference. So under protein, let's look at this. Normally substrates are done in proteins, fats, and carbs, and that's it. Well, this nutritionist when they put this together, they took the carbs and divided them in two different sections. So you actually have your veggies separated from your carbs, so that you understand the difference, because there's complex carbs, which are higher in calories, higher in carbohydrates, and these lower calorie, high fiber carbs are a totally different ball game. So we're going to be looking at how you we call it nutrient timing, when you're going to get these calories, when are you going to get these substrates. So let's look at the protein. The palm here is just referencing, if you don't have a scale, it's about the size of your palm will be a good guesstimation for how big your meat would be, your meat portion or your protein portion would be. We've got 4 ounces. For those of you that have done a challenge that measured this raw, this is all cooked. So
it's different ounces for different meal plans.
Yeah, again, I'm reading the portions for this 1.75 meal plan. You may have different portions, but I want you to get the idea of how to read your meal plan and to answer questions about the selected foods and all that kind of stuff, because I know you're going to have questions at the end. Just as you get them, type them in the chat so you don't feel like you're stressed out and you're not listening to. So Steve's monitoring that. He's glued to the chat thread. So this is all cooked food. And except your egg whites, that's liquid. 1 cup is equal to 4 egg whites. Most of the time, they'll say the servings on the side is a 1/4 cup, I believe, per egg, or egg beaters. I really like egg beaters too. So the cup of cottage cheese, that's 0%, super important. 1 cup of 0% Greek yogurt, that's plain Greek yogurt, not the flavored Greek yogurt that's got sugar in it. So this is the plain. Protein powder, yes, not ideal. I don't really want you having a protein shake for a meal, because you're going to be getting those for snacks. But if you had to, you could use that. And then also you could divide this out. So you could do 2 eggs and maybe 2 ounces of chicken and make an omelet out of it. So your total would just need to add up to 1 full serving. So the fats, we have a tablespoon of peanut butter here. We've got almond butter, coconut oil, grass-fed butter, olive oil, just no canola oil, no vegetable oil, no cheese. We're just trying to eliminate some of the extra, fat. So protein has 4 calories per gram. Fat has 9 calories per gram. So you can understand why a low-fat diet would be lower in calories. That's also why your meal plan doesn't have a lot of fats on it, and the fats are very purposeful fats. And even when you eat them, is going to be purposeful, which we'll talk about in just a second.
Mary Mills wants to know, what do you mean by 4 ounces of small fish? 4 ounces of small fish?
Yeah,
like,
4 ounces of shellfish or small fish. So here's the difference.
What kind of fish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tuna and salmon are large fish. So small fish, it's better to be white fish. Some of you might not like cod or tilapia, but mahi. Any white fish is going to be lower in calories, lower in fat. Now, with that said,
crab wasn't allowed before. Can they do crab now?
Any shellfish is allowed. Yeah, shellfish is typically lighter. On this meal plan, it says no tuna and salmon. Salmon's really high in fat. Please know that just because it's not on the meal plan, it actually doesn't mean that it's not healthy. Tuna and salmon oftentimes are large fish. A lot of times is on a is off of a detox diet because of the metals and certain things that it can have in them. However, if you love tuna, honestly, if you really love it, if you choose white tuna and you're good with it, I really don't mind you doing it. That they say no large fish, and that's really for detoxification purposes if you're wanting to detox. But if that's not a real concern with you, I would tuna would be okay. I really prefer you not to have salmon on this particular diet. Not in the world if you did, but just you're working way too hard. The leaner and the lower calorie proteins you choose, the better. So that's why those things are not on here. Again, it's not that they're not healthy. And if tuna is easy and you need to grab a pack of tuna or a can and eat it out of can because you don't have time to cook, I'd rather you do that than nothing. So that's that. On to fats, back to fats. Be careful that your natural butters and stuff like that don't have added sugar. Just, be really aware of ingredients, looking for some of those hidden ingredients. So this, for you coffee lovers, this is, get your tissues out. You might shed a tear or 3 or 4 or 5, but there's no milks or creamers or, extras on this meal plan. So
Jeannie just said, but anything calorie free, Diet Coke, unsweet tea.
We're going to go into
coffee.
that. We're going to go into that. Yeah, we're going to cover it. We're going to get it. So, but on the milk issue and the creamer issue, you can do like coconut creamer. I kind of have this rule of thumb: if it's under 10 calories, it's not going to kill you. Even though the milk, when we go further, you'll see if it's under 0, if it's 0 calories, you can have it. That's just a no-brainer. But if you have one or 2 tablespoons of something that's only 10 calories, like for instance, almond milk. I don't want you drinking a glass of it, but if you wanted to use almond milk, which is like 25 calories for a whole 8-ounce cup, a couple of tablespoons isn't going to kill you. So, this is your thing. It's your skin in the game. So, really it's all up to you, what you're willing, and if your coffee is that important to you and you really want those extra 20 calories, but you're going to shave them off somewhere else, I'll leave that up to you. Okay. But, just no heavy creamers and all that kind of stuff. So that's out. To the carbs, we got sweet potato, mashed potato, beans, brown rice, white rice. Ezekiel bread is the only bread on the menu. Ezekiel bread is the least processed. You find it in the freezer section. Who'da thunk it? Do you know how hard I looked for that daggum bread in the bread aisle and not to find it? It's in the freezer section. Rolled oats, dry rolled oats. We're just trying to eliminate processed foods. So we're trying to choose foods that are the least processed. So I believe in the virtual cookbook, there's an overnight oats recipe. So you could prepare it the night before, make it easy for breakfast. Pasta. And only fruit on the diet is berries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, any kind of berry. And strawberries, and then cooked quinoa. So those are your approved carbohydrates. Again, you can split them up just like you can split up the meat, where you did a 1/4 cup of beans and legumes and a 1/4 cup of rice, or you did maybe a heavier cup of rice, but just like a couple tablespoons of sprinkled on top. So you can mix it up, but you don't have a lot of leeway with this, because those are higher in calories. And 1/2 cup of beans or rice is actually really filling. If you're a no carb person, if you're coming off keto or anything like that, please do not be afraid of carbs. There's good carbs, there's bad carbs. These are healthy, complex carbs for you. You're not going to gain weight on them. So I know it can be shocking. Sometimes it can be actually shock your system if you've been completely carb free. Just be really smart with your carbohydrates and follow the plan when to eat them. Finally, your veggie list. So you can have any veggie, but huge exception here, any veggie, but these things: beets, carrots, corn, any type of squash, eggplant, pumpkin, and beets. Did I say that already? Peas and beets. Okay. So the common question we get is squash. I thought squash is low in calorie and healthy. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now, I do not have a degree in nutrition, and I am not a doctor. And those are the people that wrote this program. So that is above my pay grade. I don't know why squash is not on there. It could be the way that it interacts with other foods, glycemic level, who knows? But I promise there's a purpose for it. It could be because it's just easier to say no squash, because butternut squash is actually higher in carbs, spaghetti squash, and maybe they know that people will push the limits and choose the higher calorie versions of squash and not the zucchini kind. I don't know, but it is on the plan. If you really love squashes, you get to have them in 6 weeks. Okay, so I haven't actually had a lot of argument on that one.
Tomatoes are coming up. I guess
Okay.
it's going to be easier for me just to address tomatoes. So tomatoes are a fruit.
Yeah, I know.
And the only fruits, and because this came up too, what fruits are allowed? We're allowed berries. You're going to let them have half an apple?
Nope, just berries.
All right, just berries.
Berries.
So we've dumbed that down to berries, but I'll tell you what, guys, the first time I see somebody hit a plateau, one of the first things I take out is peanut butter and berries. Everybody
I think the regular grocery list that I sent you guys, that's kind of all our meal plans kind of use that as the base. This is a little bit streamlined. I think I mentioned that in the thing in the email. And actually, and the truth is if you went grocery shopping and you got apples, do it. And there's no reason to not do it unless I'm not seeing the weight loss fast enough. There's people that have eaten apples the whole 6 weeks and they've done fine, but we just have to be careful that you don't abuse it. And we know that berries are the lowest in calories. They're rich in antioxidants. They have great, anyway, so that's why we have that. But the fruit, the tomatoes.
Getting back to tomatoes, let's not do a big steak cut wedge of tomato, but if you want to split it up into a little bit of pico de gallo and throw it into an omelet,
Heck yeah,
that's not going to hurt you. And even saying this, guys, I mean, think about this. What we've been eating the last 3 or 4 weeks, a tomato is not going to kill me.
Yeah.
All right. However, guys, if you can stick to, one person asked, can we do octopus? It's like, come on. Can we just stick to what's on? Can we stick to just what's here? Can you make this work just for 6 weeks? And I promise it'll be worth it. But if you're like me, like tomato, that's religious to me. I'm going to use pico in my omelet. Okay.
Yeah, we should have been coming out of the womb speaking Spanish.
So anyway, so these are great questions, but if we can, let's stick to what's on the list. If it's not on the list, try to fast it at least just for 6 weeks. And then what we do, this isn't forever. We're going to bring all this stuff back in. And yes, we can start doing fats during the day and we can start doing carbs at night. And there's a reason for that, but not right now with this accelerated program.
Yeah, there's a lot, and I have had plenty of time with people that actually from different countries, they cook a different way. This is a huge adjustment for them. And there's a lot of foods out there that I'm just not super familiar with. So they're using on this meal plan stuff that majority of people are familiar with. So the biggest reasons we don't have good answers on the octopus thing is just we don't eat octopus and don't know much about it and don't want to misdirect you. So let's look at how you put all this together. So look at breakfast. You get one of the orange aisle, the column. Remember in our consultation, I said it's kind of like paint by numbers. Well, here we go. Eat by color. You get one item in the orange aisle. That means you get anything off the carbs list. You get one serving, I should say not item, but serving, one total serving of the blue list protein and one green. Yes, that means you have to eat a green for breakfast. So, and I'm going to show you some ideas of what that looks like, but let's just go into making sure you understand. Carb, protein, veggie for breakfast, carb, protein, veggie for lunch, no carb for dinner, but you get a fat. There's a reason for that. Fat slows digestion. It'll help keep you fuller longer while you sleep, so you don't wake up in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning starving, which can happen. And it still can happen on this plan as you adjust and your stomach starts to shrink. But the fats slow down digestion so you can really absorb all those nutrients and to feel fuller longer. So that's all what we call nutrient timing. We're doing carbs during the day because they're your best source of energy. This is where you're gonna need your carbs to work out, to go to work, to be who you need to be for your family and friends. But you don't need carbs before you go to bed, unless you're doing jumping jacks in the bed, or that you have some kind of night workout routine after you eat. Most likely you're going to sit on the couch, and watch a little bit of TV and hit the sack, and you don't need carbs to do that. So the way your plan would go is you'd have breakfast. A couple hours later, 2 or 3 hours later, you're going to have a snack. Then you're going to have lunch. 2 or 3 hours later, you're going to have a snack. What does a snack look like? Let's talk about that. The snack for women, it'll average 12 to 15 grams of protein. It'll be about half of a serving of your protein list. So if you want to have a couple of eggs, boiled eggs with salt and pepper or something, or you want to have some cottage cheese, Greek yogurt as your snack, you totally can. If you are like a majority of the people that do challenges, you're like, I need a protein shake so I can slam it and get on with my life. That's probably more convenient and easier. And I am going to be having a supplement workshop, I think tomorrow, Monday night, that's going to be open to all of you guys only. So we can talk about supplements and answer some of your questions. Make sure the proteins that you have in your cupboard match what you need. And just
can you address a little bit of that right now?
I am going to address some of it, and we're going to head that way. But I just want to let you know we're going to go into that more in depth for the people that are needing it or wanting to learn more. But this is your breakdown. Men, you're going to be getting basically a full serving of protein as your snacks. We have found, this is not just us personally, it's proven, but we have found even personally that the clients that are hungriest have low protein. The people that are most satisfied, they have a high protein diet. Protein keeps you full and satiated. It also helps with fat loss. There's just incredible benefits of having a high protein diet. So that is a requirement. You got to have a snack. How you get that snack is totally up to you guys. This is what some meals look like. These are real meals from real challengers, not made up stuff. I don't know if this is iced coffee, but that's what it looks like to me. This person's getting their coffee one way or another. They can use stevia to sweeten that. They have their mixed berries, and then they have their egg beaters, their mushrooms, a little bit of either red pepper or tomatoes. This is perfect on plan. It looks like they're having a greens drink, which if it's super low in calories, that'll be okay. And we've got another spinach kind of stir fry thing over here of spinach and mushrooms. That's their vegetables. And then they made protein pancakes, which is in the virtual cookbook. And they're using Walden Farms calorie-free pancake syrup. So how about that? They're discovering new things. This is just a screenshot of her kitchen top of her meal prepping: sweet potato and chicken, green beans and broccoli.
So we know those are lunches or breakfasts,
yeah,
because there are no carbohydrates, starchy carbs for dinner. So we know that we're looking at breakfasts and lunch.
So I can tell you right now, this person probably reached her goal, because when you plan, you do so much better. But if you fail to plan, you might as well plan to fail, because we do stupid things under the intoxication of hunger. Like honestly, you talk about alcohol making you do stupid things. Hunger can make you do stupid things too. All of a sudden you're out shopping or whatever, and you talk yourself into something being a good idea.
Where's the virtual cookbook at?
Virtual cookbook is under your resources. I uploaded it last night, so it'll be under your resources in the Navita app. So you'll see you had 4 resources, now you have 9, so you got more tools up there. So this is more stuff: Brussels sprouts, chicken. They diced their chicken and marinated it. This is just an Instagram Facebook post. She said only a few days in, but I'm loving this program so far. Here are my lunches prepped for the week. Went to my first class yesterday, feeling it today, and I'm so excited to try Sweat tomorrow. So
super important for that, guys. That feedback, I know that when I'm struggling and I read that, I'm like, well, if Jordan could do it, I can do it too. Oh my gosh, a lot of people are doing it. Or if you're struggling, post that also. But this type of communication with pictures is so important for the culture and community we're trying to drive.
Yeah, and not only that, when you share it in the Facebook group, it can give somebody else the idea of like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about Brussels sprouts. I've heard so-and-so did roasted ones and I heard they were good. So that y'all can share and learn from each other. We're not the only ones that have something to offer. Every single person in this group, even if you've never dieted a day in your life, has value and can offer something to this group. So each of you can contribute. This is some roasted potatoes. I love my new air fryer, thanks to some challengers that bought us an air fryer for Christmas. I love it. And this person did some extra lean beef burger with spicy mustard and some broccoli. Like, that's incredible lunch. And see, probably my favorite lunch right now. She's eating on meal plan. That was not dinner, because the potatoes are not a dinner source. So for those of you guys that can't cook, hate cooking, don't want to cook, you do this. I mean, anybody can do this. This is some cucumbers. They did some brown rice. This is 99% lean turkey that they bought from the deli and had sliced, and that was her lunch. So it doesn't have to be fancy to be good and right. This person did shrimp and cucumbers, and made a little snack plate. I mean, and used this red spicy sauce to dip everything in. So that's just some ideas for you. Going into supplements, we're going to touch on that. But like I said, I'm going to dive into it really deep on Monday night. So you've got, these are some, the meal plan: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and your 2 snacks. And this is kind of what it looks like if you mapped it out. You can have a meal replacement shake. For those of you guys that met with me and we had this conversation, I think majority of you, I told our goal is not to push supplements on you and tell you what to buy or eat or whatever when it comes to supplementation. And I don't even push it. I have plenty of this product. I could make money if I told you to buy it. I'm not going to do that. I want you to learn how to cook. Priority number 1 is is learning from this. And if you're using a meal replacement shake for every meal, you're not learning how to make your own breakfast, and you're not learning. So with that said, for those of you guys that struggle, I know I talked to several of you that struggle with eating breakfast, getting it in, people that don't like to meal prep. I'm still going to ask you to meal prep. Don't get me wrong, but I'd rather you not miss a meal altogether and do a meal replacement shake that fits the meal plan than to not eat. So you do have that option. If you need supplementation and you need a meal replacement shake that fits the plan, we're going to go over that Monday. Again, it's not something I'm pushing. I really do want you to try to do the whole food route. But if you want to integrate it in just for ease, it is totally acceptable, and it matches the meal plan but only for breakfast or lunch. You can't have a meal replacement shake for dinner. So if you already use a product like Isoline, you cannot have that for dinner because it's too high in carbohydrates. You got a question?
Yeah. So let's go through this real quick.
Sure.
Which resource is it under?
So if you click open the 6-week challenge tab at the top of your dashboard, and you'll see resources at the very top. And if you click on resources, I believe it's recipes. I think you click on to get to that.
Okay. So sauces are okay as long as they're no or low calorie. Correct.
Yes.
And guys, even in the recipe book, at least it used to be, where you could make your own honey mustard out of out of stevia and mustard and maybe a little vinegar or whatever.
Yep.
Luke gave something about portion sizes.
Yeah.
But let me say this about vegetables. This is somewhat like Weight Watchers, where the vegetables, guys, you just can't go wrong on these. Nobody has ever gotten fat off of vegetables.
Like spinach vegetables,
yeah,
but like leafy.
The leafy greens. So, and a matter of fact, one of the great successes I had, again, learning from the mistakes, is after dinner, I would get hungry relatively fast. And you guys are going to be eating leaner dinners, which means 2 hours later, where you might, the dinner was just satiating you. Now, after dinner, you're going to be starving, not starving, but 2 hours later, you're going to want to eat again. So make sure that you're using those fibrous veggies, the leafy vegetables. Eat a bigger salad than what you think, right? Now, the protein source and the fat is going to be limited, but put them on an entire bowl of greens, more than you think you can eat. Because if you can shut off that hunger, you're going to get to sleep fine, but you're going to wake up hungry the next day, which is what we want.
And there's no snacking at night, but if you wanted to slice if you wanted to slice a cucumber up and put some vinegar on top and salt and pepper it and have a salty snack, if it's, like I said before, if it's, 10 calories or less, or it's really, really low in calories, if you had to, it's an option. You can make a little bit more green salad and throw something because a lot of times it's just habit. We want to touch something and eat something, but just be careful. Yes.
Okay, Tracy, can you have an isogenics bar?
No.
Most of the isogenics bars are meal replacement, which means they're going to have fats in them, and we can't do fats during the crux of this diet is nutrient timing. No fats during the day and no carbs at night. If you can stick to that, you're going to do amazing in this. So anyway, no isogenics bars in the morning. However, I'll say this: if you didn't have anything at all, a 240 calorie bar is not going to kill you if that's your breakfast. But if you can do the nutrient timing properly and eat the fats, carbs, and proteins when we're supposed to, you're going to do really well.
Yeah, the isogenics bar, just and a great thing that you just added in the comment chat, because we do have those questions where people are eating protein bars instead of protein shakes, thinking those are acceptable, but 9 times out of 10 they are not. So we say no protein bars. It's just safer to not use them. The meal replacement bars are a different ball game. And one of the things, even though the calories are the same and the substrates are the same for breakfast or lunch, so technically they could fit the plan. What they don't have that a shake does is like the meal replacement shake we use is isogenics. The reason that we love it so much is because it has 23 vitamins and minerals in it, has probiotics, digestive enzymes, and a lot of other health benefits to it that is not in the meal replacement shake. So, a meal replacement bar. So the difference between a bar and a shake, the shake is always healthier. So that is why, that actually is the main reason we don't have it on the list and I feel like the shake holds me, feels full, makes me feel fuller as well.
The reason I don't like the shake is because you can't mix it with milk. You're mixing it with water, and sometimes it comes out to be like an icy protein shake, which is nasty. So I don't like it, because I like a shake when I can mix it with milk or even almond milk. So this gets to Amanda's question about chia seed pudding with almond milk. Chia seeds and almond milk are not on the list anywhere. So Bonnie was kind of alluding to almond milk a little bit, but to be a zealot, chia seeds and almond milk are not on the list. So obviously that would be
the only reason I brought it up is if you wanted to have 2 tablespoons in your coffee, I would approve that, but no more. Just so if it's not on the list, it's a no. It doesn't mean it's bad. But certain things like chia seeds and a lot of stuff that just adds up in calories so fast.
Super healthy. Let me keep going with these questions real quick. Sure. So we have some isogenics users. I know we have some paleo guys. I know we have some keto guys and some Weight Watcher people doing this as well. And I love that. But isogenics guys and all you guys that have done different disciplines of diet before, cleansing and that kind of thing. So I'm talking to Sheila now. No, let's not do the cleanse. There's certain things in the cleanse that'll be great from 6 weeks from now. And a matter of fact, we're going to have some detox type challenges coming up. But for this one, we want to subscribe just to this plan. So stick to that.
That's really important. This is for a lot of you guys, y'all might have your masters in studying diet plans. Seriously, there's somebody waiting.
Oh, sorry.
So a lot of times we do so much research and we tried every diet in the market. Our problem is oftentimes that we did not stick to any diet long enough to actually have it work, or maybe we just got tired of it because it was too extreme a diet. I will tell you, the majority of people that do this meal plan, this is how they eat the rest of their life. I mean, like that's their mindset going out of this is this is actually really feels good, tastes good, works. It's not extreme. So this is definitely more a sustainable plan. But what I'm meaning by the point that I'm trying to make is that you cannot mesh 2 different diet plans together, 2 different methodologies. You've got to be all in on this diet plan for 6 weeks because every component of this and how it's put together matters. Once you're done, you can implement other stuff and add it back in. That's totally fine. But just during this meal plan, you have to kind of abandon, and this goes for us too. We have to abandon some of the things that we've done in the past that doesn't fit this meal plan and just stick to this for 6 weeks.
So evidently the recipes option resource is not available yet. I see a lot of people. So we'll check into that.
I'll make it work. I'll double check it and make sure I didn't do
Teresa
something
says,
stupid.
To see the recipe, you just open one of the resources, and once open, you will see the menu button on the top left. So I guess it's there.
Okay. So maybe I did not add it to the actual resources, but you can see it in the tab. What she's saying is all those resources actually can open up a website and you can actually see all the different menu items and it must be there, but I will add that, make sure that I've added that. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. So
and yeah, Steve,
I might've made some mistakes.
Steve, this is, we're talking about the resources will be all on the Nuvita app, and the Nuvita app is really where the communication, the resources and all that stuff happen.
I also messaged you guys today. I hope you saw it where it said you can access your Nuvita app on your computer. So you can do the same thing you're doing in your Nuvita app. If you want to access on your computer so you can print things, you can use that link to log into your computer and print documents, print your cookbook. But we found so many people really wanted their meal plan on their phones for quick, easy access on the go. Any other questions before we move on?
Yeah, we do have, Luina's asking about what type of protein do we suggest? And I just adore isogenics. I've done a lot of studying on bioavailable protein and protein that has sustenance that's actually a quality protein. Non-denatured whey protein is the top of the top of the top. Now we're kind of splitting hairs with non-denatured protein, but that is the way to go. And yes, if you want to get with Bonnie on that, she can give you some suggestions with some of the isogenics proteins that we use. It's completely superior. I mean, it blows everything else away, but it's not necessary to hit your goal for
on
this.
That topic. I'm going to be talking, even if you use another product you really like, the supplement talk I'm going to be giving on Monday night is going to be talking about just supplements in general, not just isogenics, but just ingredients to look for, what they do, what might be beneficial for your workout, what might not be, depending on your goal. There's certain supplements I would not suggest for certain people that might be a pounder versus a percenter. So, and like I said, that's, if you want to get that from GNC, that's fine. I'm going to just give you some pointers of what to look for. If you want to do isogenics is all natural. That's some of the things that I really like about it. Doesn't have any.
What time Monday night for Steve?
I have not set it yet. I've got to look at my calendar and make sure, but I'm going to probably do it. I'm guessing it'll probably be around 6 o'clock or so, 6:30 maybe.
And are you going to record it?
Yeah, I'll record it. Is
that cool, Steve?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. And I'll send that out. I literally had that. I have several of you guys that have been wanting to get with me on supplements, and I've been so booked and I've been behind. So I thought this would be great for me to get all this information out to you guys and help you, because I don't want to just send you some random link or suggestion without really having a conversation with you to make sure I'm recommending the right things for you. Because not all protein is created equal, and you guys are all individual and might need different things.
Great question from Amanda.
Okay.
You guys before classes. So Amanda's going to take a 4:30 class. When should she eat? Should she have a meal or should she have a snack? I would save the meal. The meals are all fats and proteins. Man, it's way better to do those fats and proteins before bed. Once they help us sleep. Also, they do stuff with our cortisol levels. They help us with repair and what I call an endocrine dump. They just really turn things on. So let's eat that dinner as close to bed as you can. It's no longer like, oh my gosh, I got to eat at 4. When we're eating carbohydrates, yes, you need to eat earlier. When you're eating fats and proteins, digest so slowly. They're going to be in your gut for 8 hours anyway. So eat that later. So I would suggest a snack, if anything at all, before your workout. What to eat before your workout? That's going to be experimentation. Sometimes you have a protein shake and I get to see it and you get to have it again. Sometimes you don't eat anything at all and you still get nauseous. So that's going to be something that as long as you're charting it, we can keep working with that. Everybody's different.
So on that note with the, oh gosh, I just went blank on what you just said. I just had
when to eat snacks before.
Yeah. So I know some people will eat a later lunch, or they may save a little bit of their lunch to have before a workout, to give them the energy. So you can play around with that. Everybody's different. Some people don't eat before their workout at 5 a.m. in the morning. While if you're new, I'm going to tell you right now, if you come in and you try to do this workout on an empty stomach, it's very likely that you might get lightheaded, feel faintish, maybe even nauseous, feel like you're going to throw up, and you don't understand why, because you don't even have anything in your stomach to throw up. It's because your blood sugar crashes so fast. For those of you, I know I've got some type 1 diabetes in here and type 2. I want to make sure that you keep your blood sugar regulated. If you're one of those people, you need to have something with you that you can snack on, whether it's a little bit of, it might be an emergency, source that is kind of a go-to for you. Please don't take a Snickers bar. You might want to have a little pack of half of Ezekiel bread and some yogurt or something. You might just need something in your stomach, but do not try to attempt to work out on an empty stomach. You'll fall flat. Now, eventually your body will learn to store that energy. And so it can tap into the energy already stored in your system. But until your body learns what you're doing, you need to have something in your stomach. Some people can train themselves to work out on an empty stomach. So I just want you to play with it, but I do encourage you to eat. Yes.
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
The take home, are we done with the nutrition part?
Yeah.
Take home is this, guys. Eat what's on the list. Look at your circles of red, blue, and green for breakfast, red, blue, and green for lunch, yellow, green, and blue for dinner. Stick to that and do it ahead of time. Write down what we don't want to make a meal and then think about what we're eating. Think about what you're going to eat and then make the meal. You should already know, use today and this weekend to kind of know what your breakfasts are going to look like, what your lunches are going to look like, and what your dinners is going to look like, and then stick to it the whole time.
The other thing too, and Luke mentioned this to some of you guys, is that it's really important to get in the habit of taking that picture before you eat. And some of you guys might forget. I'd rather you take a picture of a random plate, or I mean, this has happened. I see many empty plates. This was, and then they type in the thing what it was because they forgot. But here's the deal. When you start getting the habit of being aware of what you're eating, guess what happens? There's no more mindless eating, which is something that we as Americans often do. We just, before you know it, we're snacking on something and not even really thinking about what we're doing or eating. So it's going to take, you have to, you've done your normal routine for how long? Whether it's a few months during COVID or if it's been years, it's going to take a bit to break those habits.
Water real quick, because some folks have some water questions.
Let's go to, because we're going to get there.
Okay.
So some tips with the whole thing of like, I forget to take my picture or whatever. One of the things that I would recommend is set reminders on your phone for the thing you struggle with the most. You don't have to have reminders going off all day long and dinging you to death. But If you struggle with water and drinking regular water, or you struggle with getting your protein shakes in, that's my reminder. I need a reminder to go off mid-morning and mid-afternoon to remind me to get up and slam a protein shake. That is something that would be super helpful for me, is to set a reminder. They're easy to set in your phone. You might need to set one for your supplements. You might need to set one for your meals, some of you guys. So use the tools. We have a lot of technology that can support our goals. This is some of the stuff that is on your meal plan, that just as a reminder of some of the things you can use to season your food: mustard, soy sauce, lemon juice, balsamic vinegar. Watch the balsamic vinegar though, look at the labels and don't choose the one you like the most, because most likely it's got 20 or 30 calories in it. Try to find the one that has the lowest amount of calories. There are 5 and 10 calorie ones. Here's a secret. You can buy it and put stevia in it and make it sweeter, because that's why we like the ones that are 30 calories. They just have more sugar in them. So you can add some garlic to it. You can add some stevia to it, make it sweeter. So you're not stuck with whatever is just in the bottle. You can make your own stuff. You can use some of the recipes that are in the recipe book. Hot sauces, almost nearly every hot sauce is 0 calories or 5 calories. Those are great. Dry spices. This is a time to really try out new rubs and seasonings. Please try to watch the MSG. Even though this challenge is not a detoxing challenge, as far as like our whole focus is not detoxing off of chemicals, why not make sure that you're getting all natural? You're investing in your health and trying to get healthy and make good decisions. Why not get MSG out of your life? Another reason I say that is because MSG makes you hungry. MSG is literally, I swear, it's the devil's recipe for stuff, to make us want more chips, to make us want more food. It makes things taste, it actually excites our taste buds and makes us want more. So if you can use seasonings, and instead of bouillon, use actually regular salt and other seasonings and stuff like that. Anything that doesn't have that powdery substance in it, a lot of those powdery things and prepackaged things have MSG in it. You will do a lot better with portions, believe it or not. So use MSG-free dry spices like McCormick. You could go to Whole Foods or Fresh Market or whatever and look in their seasoning section. But there's a lot of seasons in Publix and stuff that are MSG-free. So just use stuff that has raw, hard seasonings in it: garlic, minced onion, and all that kind of stuff. Be careful if you love the everything seasoning. Table it; it's got seeds in it, and that's it. And can you mute all? Just be careful with what you and if I think here Sam, can you mute yourself for me? I think you're the only one that's so sorry to. So Samantha is a and you're a dietitian. I never can she's smart and she still values our challenge and does it. This is our second one. Welcome back, Sam. And glad you got to join us, because everybody needs those boundaries and guidelines and accountability, even for us that know a lot. So going back to our spices, our drinks and stuff like that: water, black coffee, sugar, a 0 sugar stuff. Let's see here. If you go to participants, you can scroll down and there you go. Got it. Thank you. Okay, so these are just some samples of some 0 calorie stuff. This is not all, like, I'm sure this ice has chemicals in it, so it's not my favorite, but this is just a variety of some ideas. They're 0 free. For you guys that love beer or wine, and this is going to be super hard for you.
Especially if you have a boat. I'm looking at Jen.
No alcohol during this challenge. But you can make some mocktails. You could take some of a LaCroix or a seltzer water. Like my favorite is that, what is in a glass bottle, and I cannot think of it. I was drinking it at our Christmas party. I'm trying to. Anyway, you can take that, put some fresh lime juice in it, that kind of thing, and put it in a fancy a glass. Draw a hot bath. You're gonna be sore. So benefits of water. This is what Steve was mentioning. Y'all have some questions of water. I would love for y'all to try to slam a gallon of water a day. It's super difficult.
Even a half a gallon, guys, is great. Let's shoot for a half. I mean, shoot for a gallon. There's something called hyponatremia, but man, that takes a ton of water. You guys, we're not going to overwater ourselves, but just shoot for a gallon, but even a half a gallon is completely beneficial. And then here, this slide will show you some of the benefits.
Yeah, most people are dehydrated. But most of us drink stuff that actually is not nourishing at all. Instead, like it's coffee, teas, and that kind of stuff. So these are just 8 benefits of drinking water and fat loss. It removes byproduct off fat. It aids in digestion and prevents constipation, which is often an issue, especially for challengers because they're increasing their protein. If that is an issue, by the way, let me know because I can give you some suggestions to help with that. Reduces hunger. This is huge. A lot of times if you're super hungry, slam a glass of water first, and you'll probably eat less. It raises the metabolism. Everybody wants that. It's 0 calories and improves energy levels. It flushes out toxins. Believe it or not, it also is a headache killer. A lot of times when we got a headache, we're actually dehydrated. So if you got a headache, before you take Advil or whatever, slam a glass of water. And especially in Vero, it's a hot town, and you're working out more and stuff like that. So just get that water in. Nutrient fact: if you drink a gallon of water a day, you won't have time for other people's negativity and drama because you'll be peeing every 5 minutes. How's that? So yes, you will be peeing a lot. This is just some real information, some real members pictures of stuff. One thing I do see a lot of people eating Greek yogurt that is 0 fat, but it's flavored. Just please make sure you get the plain. This is a combination of something that I ate and somebody else tried it. I actually did Greek yogurt and I squeezed in some sweet drops in it. I actually had the coconut. She has chocolate. She sweetened it up naturally, 0 chemicals, and made her Greek yogurt more palatable. You can also use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. You can also, use it in cooking because it's a protein. So just use that as part of your portions of protein.
For you guys that aren't salt sensitive, these are some of the questions that are coming up.
Yeah, sure.
We're getting ready to close, guys. I appreciate you guys.
Keep on. Yeah.
But anyway, we're not going to be overly worried about salt until the way out. We want to make sure that there's no water retention, but if you keep your sodium levels even and your body is healthy, it should even itself out, especially with drinking water. So don't worry too much about soy sauces or salt, especially if it's something you're already eating. If you're not eating it, eat your normal sodium. If you are sensitive to salt or you have some blood pressure issues, then maybe get with your doctor and let's be careful about that. What else is this? Oh, being hungry. Some of you guys, I know this is gonna be a challenge. I was just kind of going back and forth with Amanda real quick. And some of us don't get hungry until 4 or 5 at night. That is a good indication of disordered eating. That means that our cortisol is messed up, that our metabolism is messed up. There's a reason that they call breakfast break fast. We want to break that fast. We should be waking up hungry and energetic. That's going to be the first indication that you guys are doing the right stuff when you start waking up hungry. If we could flip everything upside down and eat our 2 meals during the day and not be hungry at night, we probably wouldn't have near the weight problem we have of not eating all day when we need the energy. And then we're eating all this energy or food right before we go to sleep when we don't need the energy. We need to change that around. And it's going to start by being conscious of what you're eating. And some of us, yes, we're going to force ourselves to eat breakfast. Having said that, some of the breakfasts are so large. If you're eating all that Greek yogurt, that's a lot of food.
Yeah.
Eat what you can, leave the rest, and just start improving throughout the 6 weeks.
When I first got Steve, when I first married Steve, he was in school at FSU for exercise and nutrition. So, and I was one of those people that didn't eat until about 10 or 11 o'clock a day. I just drank coffee. But by the time I did eat, I was hungry, like really hungry. And I was going out with my friends for lunch, at the office or whatever. And I was eating whatever I wanted because by that time I was really starving. So he would tell me, you need to eat breakfast. That's another way of jumpstarting your metabolism. You can either jumpstart it chemically with food or mechanically with exercise. And so he started making me breakfast and making me eat breakfast. And I was like, I get nauseous when I eat breakfast. And I hear this a lot from women. They're like, oh, I don't get nauseous. I don't feel like eating anything. But if you actually have a couple of bites of something, you get your blood sugar up and you lose that nausea. So that nauseousness is often from low blood sugar. So you can change, because now I eat breakfast. So there is hope. If I can do it, you can too. This is in your Nuvita app. These are just some Walden Farms things. I'm not a huge Walden Farms fan. I can't imagine what kind of chemicals are in these things, but to be honest with you, we have a saying, Steve and I, it's really Steve's saying, but I snag it. And it's, don't major in the minors. So let's just look at this whole picture. 6 weeks. You're losing weight, you're getting healthier, you're going to be exercising, you're going to be eating whole foods. I'm just going to tell you right now, a few chemicals is not a big deal when we're just trying to get your weight off. In the big scheme of things, you'd be in worse health if if you were eating poorly than having these chemicals. Ideally, I would like you not to, and have all natural foods and try to avoid chemicals. But if this helps you get through this to lose the weight you need to be healthier, and we can use these things. I don't want to be double tongued and act like, because I really do like majority of our stuff. I really, really try hard to do mostly natural stuff in our house. Doesn't mean I don't. But with that said, you might want to try some of these things during this challenge. You're going to try stuff and go, that was nasty. Steve tried some kind of calorie-free peanut butter or something. It was horrible.
It's part of the Walden
It was one of those. It was horrible.
Gosh,
we threw that out. Oh, so bad. And yet there's some other things that we actually like. And I just punched Steve because he's punching me. Oh gosh. Okay, hot sauces. We already addressed that in the questions. I already had it on my queue to talk about. One way to make this a lot more fun is to season this is actually ground chicken. This is a Challenger. And this is Caroline. You'll see her in class still rocking it out.
Speaking of hot sauce.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Doing great. She crushed the challenge. This is also more food prep. You got some whole oats wrapped in a Ziploc bag. So Ziploc bags might need to be on your grocery meal list. There's a reason I'm showing all of this to you. Somebody's going to go, oh, that's a good idea. Put my oatmeal on the thing, make it easier to do in the morning. I'm putting Ziploc bags with all my portions and of other stuff. So yes, Tupperware. I was talking to somebody yesterday, I cannot remember who I was talking to, that said, I'm buying my own Tupperware because if I don't, it'll come back with no lids from family doing it. These are all stevia-based sweeteners. So if you hate water, you can season it or flavor it with some of these water drops. And if you're like needing stuff like vanilla, coconut, caramel, and stuff like this, these are good things to add to like tea, hot tea, and coffees. So those are some natural ways to sweeten your beverages. And like I said, I also put these in my yogurt to sweeten them. So those are just some ideas for you. I believe they're in the sugar aisle or they're in the drink aisle. So we're going to wrap this up. This is a statistic that that's pretty cool, because you're already in this group already. People found that they're more successful if they write their goals down. Your goals are written down. Maybe you didn't write them. We're writing them for you. You're either 25 pounds or you're 6% body fat. But we've got a goal for you, and you know what it is. It's a firm goal. And so you're already 42% more successful because that goal's been written down. Good news. You're 78% successful if you tell a friend. So people that were striving to reach a goal were 78% more successful than the people that didn't write it down and didn't tell a friend. So write it down, tell a friend. We already are setting you up for these kind of successes, because we're forcing you to get out there, be vocal in the Facebook group. But don't just keep it to people that are strangers to you now. They're going to be friends with you later, but tell your friends and your family. These are real life challengers.
When are we going to get the goals out to them? And is it going to come email or Nuvita?
It'll come through Nuvita, and we have to go through every single InBody, but you will get that updated through your Nuvita app.
Today?
That's the goal.
Okay.
Yeah. So So these are just real life pictures of people that were in the challenge, and these are literally in the middle of the challenge. This is how fast he was losing weight, and just the changes in their bodies are just really cool. These are just real life people I wanted to encourage you with, just to see what people are capable of people that ended their 6-week challenge. To encourage you. This is some weight loss goals. These are not the most extreme goals. As most of you know, I think the most has ever lost 46 pounds in 6 weeks, but just a reminder, it can be done. And I want to encourage you to think about why you're doing this. So in one of our first challenges, and several of them, we've actually had them write their name down and why they were doing it on their board. We took pictures of them. And, we had family, to feel better about myself, for me, a stronger me, healthier me. I love Vero, that's so funny. To live healthy. She's a totally different person. You probably will see her in class. Mike, he just was tired of it all and wanted to make some changes. And then to Mia, for her daughter, to be better, to be a higher energy mom. This may sound super kind of like cliche, what is your why and all that kind of stuff, but I'm telling you, you need to have a bigger why than getting your deposit back. That is a big enough why, and that's why we cry our skin in the game. But if you can write that down, if you can peel back those layers of why do you, an example of why do you want to lose weight? Well, I'm just sick of feeling crappy. I go to my clothes. Well, why do you want to do that? Ask yourself 3 times in. A lot of times when it boils down to it is because it's a lot of times it's not even about you at all. It's about who you are for your family, or who your health is affecting. So I really encourage you to find out what your why is for this. And Jennifer, Tina, Sheila, some of Harmony, some of you guys that are repeat challengers that are doing this, Michael, you guys, you may have a different why today than you did before. So what is your why this time? So I just really, really encourage you to think about that and put it down on paper. So this is the end. Hit all goals. Oh, goodness, guys. So I'm going to stop my screen share here, and we'll go back to you guys and seeing you. I thank you for the time. I know this is a lot of information, and I know for some of you guys, it's some information you already know, maybe some of it, you maybe know all of it, but it's good to be refreshed, to get refocused. Focus is super, super important. Steve, are there any other questions that anybody else has?
Guys, I apologize if I missed some of your questions. I'm such a slow reader. But anyway, I think I got them all, but you guys can reach out to us or reach out to Luke. And we really want this to be a fantastic, it's not going to be an easy experience, but we want it to be meaningful and fantastic. But I don't see any more questions, but you've got me for the next 6 weeks, and I love this stuff. I live this stuff. So before and after class, sometimes I have clients, you guys, if I have clients, at least give me a piece of paper with your number on it, or your name if I haven't memorized it yet, and let me know, and I'll get back to you best I can.
You guys, thank you so much. And you've got some studying to do. I want to encourage you to use these resources. The people that rock this challenge are the people, and I don't think Jennifer Long will mind me picking on her, but the people that reach out to us and ask us a lot of questions, they're normally the ones that do a lot better. They're investing not just their money, they're investing their time. And they're making sure they're investing it wisely, and they're doing the right things. I'd rather you ask a question, and even if you feel like it's a silly question, I'd rather you ask it. So get the most out of this program. Use and abuse Luke and I as much as you want. We're here for you. That's our full-time focus really for the next 6 weeks is going to be on you guys and helping you guys through this 6 weeks.
Let me talk to the prior challengers. Just take 2 seconds. You prior challengers, so I'm looking at Sheila, Kim, and Andrew. I don't see them in there.
Yeah.
But you
Harmony.
The ones I see on the screen,
Yep.
even Sam, and some of you guys have done this before, and not Sam, but you guys that might feel unqualified because maybe you didn't even do that well before as far as what you wanted to do. You guys are qualified. These people are going to be feeling what you guys felt your first week, completely scared and lost. So reach out to some of these new guys, even if you've only done one challenge. That's twice as many as they've already done. Okay. And you guys that are just now taking the challenge, if you see somebody in there, even if they're not doing the challenge, chances are they've already done it. If they look like one of the alumni or somebody that's been doing lift, ask them questions. Please don't be shy. I'm one of those class guys that I raise my hand and I ask the stupidest questions. I'd rather be embarrassed than not know, but own it, guys. We can make a difference, but it really is going to be your vulnerability. And then some of you prior guys, be a coach this time. Take somebody under your wing, text them or call them or encourage them. Okay.
We tend to grow faster, and we tend to do better when we're actually helping others. It holds us accountable as leaders, and it holds us accountable even as co-members. I mean, like, Kim, you might be in class and somebody asks you something, and they say, have you ever done a challenge before? And you tell them how many times you've done a challenge, and then you tell them, and they're like, how much weight do you lose? And then you tell them how much weight you and your husband both lost, and your husband got off diabetes medicine and all kinds of stuff. And you have an opportunity to bless the socks off of somebody's life just with your encouragement of experience, that you're still alive and you're still doing it and you're smiling and and the things that y'all are doing and motorcycle riding and all that kind of stuff, you have more energy to live life, and those things matter. This is more than just sculpting a muscle or two. It's not just aesthetics. Even though we want to feel and look better, we want to be better. We want to be who God created us to be. And so you guys have an opportunity to be a blessing. I will tell you, you guys have been a blessing to Steve. And so often he's had a rough day, tired, wore out. Maybe he beats himself up all the time. Sometimes he thinks, oh, maybe that workout wasn't as good as I wanted it to be or something. And one of you guys go, man, that was a great workout. Thank you so much, or whatever. And it just, I just can't tell you how important it is that each person in this group and in Lyft matters, and you all have something to offer, period. We all have strengths and something to bring to the table. And that's what makes it all special.
Luke, do you have anything you want to add before we go?
Oh, sorry. I just meant to, I just unmuted you muted you and you'd unmuted yourself. I'm sorry. Will you mute? Yeah.
No, it's all good. No, throughout the call, we've been answering a lot of questions. You guys have been asking great questions. I just want to encourage all of you guys. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have anything that you need, anything you're curious about. Like, we are here for you. We're here to support you. Anything you need, just let us know. Let myself know through Nuvita, Bonnie as well, Steve, and I'll be around the gym too, as well as Steve. So again, just be encouraged. And if you need anything, let us know.
Luke lives like right on the corner, so yeah. From the gym. And
Not far.
What is your degree again? It's exercise science and what?
Exercise science from UCF.
Okay. And was it sports science?
Yeah, sport and exercise science. So it covers exercise physiology, nutrition, a little bit of everything.
Cool. Awesome. I wanted y'all to know he's going to be a great coach. I'm excited about it. He's done online coaching before, and all through COVID, that's what he did. So he's super excited because he loves encouraging people and helping people. So it's gonna be fun, and I'm excited that I get help. So we get to double team this and work on with y'all together. So we're gonna sign off and close this bad boy up. Again, if you'll give me a good wave, I want to.
I like that, Steve.
What's that? Hey, okay. So I got to. We're dog lovers too. So I got to.
Right.
So I'll sign off by showing you guys our boys. You're in the way, buddy. Oh, you're doing it under Steve. So Steve, okay, hold on a second. Steve's in the way because he's showing the dogs. But anyway, so he's been with us this whole meeting, and the other guy is on the floor with Steve. We have good things. So I'm a dog lover too. Thank you, Steve, for that. And that's the other dogs. Look at all the puppies. Oh, Renee and Chris, I love it. Oh, it's gonna be a fun time to meet you guys, to like get to know you and your pets and stuff. Y'all have a wonderful day. Happy shopping, and I'll work on getting that cookbook up and running. Bye.